now, the CBS 21 Political Insiders with Rob Hanrahan.
All right, we're joined by our political insiders, Charlie Gerow on the Republican side, Tony May, of course, our Democratic expert. And guys, we were still well into this budget cycle. We have the spending plan laid out. We've talked about this a lot. Not a way to pay for it right now. So the House reconvened today. There was talk all day of a vote, and then there was none. So Charlie, the idea the Republicans came up with to take some money out of the special funds and apply that toward the deficit. Do you feel like that's stalling at this point, or are they just reshaping it?
I think they're reshaping it. I don't know. We were here in the studio when they decided to adjourn for the day, and that's apparently the big news coming out of Harrisburg. But this is a real opportunity for Pennsylvania taxpayers. They've already paid those taxes into the state. They're sitting there in reserve funds. This doesn't force state government's hand deeper into the pockets of hardworking Pennsylvanians.
Now, Tony, you've said you're not really behind this plan to use the special funds, and the Democrats today said that they're coming up with their own plan right now. Details are few and far between, but what do you think they're coming up with if they don't like this?
Well, I think there's going to be the taxes in the budget that you've already heard about, except they'll try to find a replacement for the gross receipts tax on utility bills, and rather replace that with a broad-based tax, which will inflict a little discomfort on everyone, but not really hurt people the way the gross receipts tax will be felt by low-income families. But the problem with the Republican, and it's not, the problem is that there are some Republicans who support the conservative Republican plan, but not enough to pass the legislation, not enough to get even 80 votes to get it passed with some Democratic help, because it just doesn't work and it's unfair to people. It's going to really raise transportation rates, mass transit rates. It's going to cause problems with ongoing programs that are really prime Pennsylvania programs like our farmland preservation program. It's going to strip the farmland preservation budget. It's going to take $100 million out of parks development. That's one of the ground jewels that makes Pennsylvania a great place, is our park system. And that money was bond issue money to begin with. It wasn't even taxpayer money.
Charlie, I find it interesting that the Senate tossed over to the House a bill that had tax increases in it. The Republicans in the Senate didn't seem opposed to tax increases, but yet the House Republicans are really dug in.
Thank goodness. I mean, there is an easy way out of this, and that's for the House Republicans to capitulate to some really bad taxes, most notably those that are placed on the backs of Pennsylvania consumers of energy. Tony mentioned one. The gross receipts tax, terrible idea. An additional severance tax, terrible idea. This so-called tax on virtual transactions, a killer for consumers. All three of those are really bad ideas, and thank goodness there's opposition that's steadfast within the House of Representatives.
No matter what they come up with, Tony, do you expect an answer to come to us anytime soon?
No, the solution will come after people begin to start feeling the discomfort of cuts in the budget that's been currently approved. The governor is going to have to do something next week to start cutting back on spending, probably start with areas where there are other sources of income available to programs like our public schools or our colleges and universities.
And the governor says he will cut spending. We'll talk about that more on CBS 21 News at 6 when we take up this discussion again. Gentlemen, thank you. You can hear from our political insiders Sunday mornings. Join us for CBS 21's Face the State. That's at 8:30 a.m.